않았어. 너의 얼굴 다시 볼 줄 정말 몰랐어.
Annyeonghaseyo YouTube, it is I, MS Genius, and today I am going to talk about The Great Doctor, aka Faith, episode 4. Now for this episode, it has a lower rating than the first two, the first three, but with that said, I gave this episode out of a possible 5 a 3.4. And for the reasons of the 5 categories of awesome sauce, the music received a 3, the plot received a 4, the action received a 3, acting received a 4, and the fan service received a 3. Now, this episode had little bits and chips of continuity problems. But one thing I noticed is that there was less music, and the music sometimes clashed with the actual scenes that were going on. Probably this is just because it was a slower paced episode than the other ones because of the plot and how it's trying to form. But I still love where the plot is going. That's why I gave it a 4. The action did take a dip, as we were used to having a lot of action scenes in before, but this was evident to happen. And it's only, the action has to take a dip every now and then so we can further advance the plot. Of course, where the action takes a dip, the acting by the actors has to take a dramatic rise, and this is something that did happen in this episode. That's why I gave the acting a 4. And in terms of the fan service, I believe took a small dip. This drama, as I said before, depends on Lee Min-ho at all times. So where he is less seen, people are less interested in. And this was another thing that, that's basically sink or swim for this drama. But of course, when Lee Min-ho's not there, the other actors have to step up. And that is something that did happen in this episode, which I like. Now on to the review. For starters, Ji Choi-young is basically questioning the history of Choi-young and learns about his lineage and his past with the Red Crescent Moon Army. He basically wants Choi-young to become one of his men. Choi-young explains to Bak Chung-suk, he basically explains how scary a person Ji Choi-young is. Yoon-so is then called by Gong-min, where she explains the history she knows in the future and is shocked to know that she's in the time of King Gong-min. He basically requests her to become the Royal High Doctor. No-guk and Choi-young have a moment, and we see that No-guk deeply cares for the well-being of Choi-young, and she basically tells him the same thing that Eun-so told him, and that's basically not to die, and she gives that order as queen, echoing the words that basically Eun-so said, as I said before. Then we have basically the snake or the traitor in the queen's quarter basically overhearing the information about the person from heaven, and basically she starts to spread the gossip all around. Choi-young basically hears the words from his Wudaichi warriors confirming that they bring a person back from heaven. Choi-young then hears the news that Eun-so is the new High Doctor, and he starts to show symptoms of his wounds, and he then collapses. Choi-young and a group, Choi-young and his group are then attacked by Hwa So-in, and Eun-so makes a reference to the X-Men because of Hwa So-in's mutant-like fire powers. Choi-young then confronts Hwa So-in, but she manages to escape. He then informs the king and tells them the truth about the evidence they found relating to the court officials' deaths. Chicken blood was basically used for the planted evidence. Eun-so overhears the conversations between Gong-min and Choi-young in relation to the previous king and how the Red Crescent Moon Army were humiliated. Their original leader died, and if you guys know who the original leader was, he was in the K-drama Warrior Bak Dong-sung, which I really loved. And basically, the original leader died, protecting Choi-young's first love, and Gong-min still denies, basically, Choi-young his request to leave until everything is completely finished. And Choi-young soon collapses after, or due to the infection he received. Choi-young is basically not showing any will to live. However, that's basically how he is. He wants to leave the warrior, the way of the warrior alone, and he's not showing any will to live. Afterward, Gong-min confronts No-guk about the upcoming meeting, and the usual tension between them continues. At the actual meeting, Gungmin introduces Unso as a person from heaven, and the new High Doctor who basically to everybody. Um, However, Ji Choyo intervenes in the last moments to discredit the claim that Unso is a person from heaven and that she is telling lies. He claims that he will kill the person who dares to spew lies in front of the king, and accuses Unso of lying about being from heaven. And that's basically all that happened in this episode. Well, guys, hope you like my review. Hope you guys continue to subscribe to Godlike Reviews. Stay tuned for the next couple of episodes as I'll try to be catch up, or should I say caught up with everything by this weekend. So I can be right on point for when episode 11 rolls around. And once again, guys, thanks for your support. And you guys know it, nobody can be God, but everybody has the potential to be God-like. And remember, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And if you haven't seen any of my previous reviews, check them out in the link above.